Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. You're the scum of the earth.
You don't doubt me, I couldn't do it. The odds that I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Lebanon, Pakistan, that's it.
Yes, sir.
I can't fucking get enough of the intro, bro.
We're fucking back. Welcome back to another episode of Over the Octagon 299 UFC 299 recap. We're fresh off from last night.
Yes,
unbelievable card. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, like the video, leave a comment, tell Dirty he's fat and smelly.
Yeah, fatty.
But yeah, let's get into it, man. What do you guys? What do you want to? Where do you want to go first? I mean, there's just so
first
much
of all, I could definitely fight in the UFC based on my kicks last night. The performance that I put on, Sean O'Malley's head better watch out, bro, because it's fucking getting fried.
Those head kicks you were throwing looked pretty good.
I'm a top 5 striker in the UFC, bro. Best believe it. Man, boys. Early prelims. I mean, anything exciting in the early prelims outside of the fucking walkout from Poirier coming out doing a fucking bunch of dances and crazy shit and getting the knockout or the submission.
Yeah. Robelis, the fucking
Despain.
Those are the only two that I was going to talk about. Well, actually, no. You know what? The whole fight was Joanna Woods' retirement fight. Getting the win too.
Yeah, she looked good.
We have a new fucking Borat Kazakhstan guy.
Asu Almabayev, 19-2, win over CJ Vergara on the early
fucking
prelim.
guy. This guy Murky had the nerve last night to compare his fighting style to Khabib's. I felt like this guy struck way more than a daggy wrestler.
Not really. He was holding down. He was spamming takedowns a little bit. Maybe not as much as Umar.
Okay, yeah, he definitely did. He spammed 14 takedowns in that fight and got 9 of them, though. I mean, but he still threw, 100 plus punches. So
absolutely,
I'll take that all day. But yeah, let's Despain. Let's just talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about Robelis Despain.
This guy is a fucking monster.
Yep.
6'8" wingspan, right?
No, a 7-foot wingspan. He has an 84-inch reach.
86-inch reach.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's possible.
Well, John Jones is 84. I think John Jones has like the 84 and a half. He's like the second or third highest wingspan reach. Or wingspan.
Yeah,
reach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 84-inch reach is disgusting. He's 6'7", heavyweight.
That's nuts.
I mean, he knocked out Josh Parisian last night, falling backwards. I mean, Despain was falling backwards. I would hate to feel what the power in his hands are when he plants his feet and follows through with it. Yeah, he might kill somebody.
He's insane, man. And I heard he's like won the majority of his matches within 20 seconds. And he has night again.
Yeah, I think he has less than 1 minute total fight time.
What the fuck?
I don't know about with the added 18 seconds from last night, but going into last night, he was 4-0 professionally in MMA, and between all of those 4 victories, he had less than 1 minute of total fight time. Which is absurd.
I said it last night. Fucking just feed him to Pavlovich right now.
Yeah.
Let's see who's about it. If this guy's that big and that fucking huge, like just fucking throw him in there with the Wolves and let's see if he can cook. Because if he goes in there and knocks out a guy like Pavlovich, now you're just like, fuck it, get this guy a title shot ASAP.
Yeah, cares. I mean, he's 36. He's 36 years old. He's on maybe Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis would be a fight, dog.
Yeah, I mean, he's 36 years old. He's a little bit on the older side. I don't know that, I mean, he's a big draw. He's exciting. People knew about him. He was on the early prelims, but people knew his name and knew about him going into that card last night. He got a pretty good pop. He got pretty good pop from the crowd on his walkout, which rarely happens for early prelim fighters. Yeah, I mean, at 36 years old, I mean, it's not like you can give him 5 fights before a ranked fight and all that. I mean, yeah, fuck it. Just give him fucking Sergey, give him Derek Lewis.
I don't think Derek Lewis would be a good fight for him, to be fair. I mean, he's going to want to stand. Derek Lewis ain't going to grapple the guy, and he's not going to grapple Derek Lewis. They're going to stand and bang. That's not good for Derek. Not for good for Derek Lewis, bro.
Yeah.
This guy, nobody but a guy like Pavlovich should stand and bang with this guy, or Tom Aspinall, or a guy who can fucking strike and
yeah. Sergey would definitely be a better matchup. That's just so crazy of a rank.
I mean, Cyril Gahn would be a good fight, I think, for him too.
Yeah.
Like anybody in the top 5. I just don't think Derek Lewis is ready for that fucking business. He needs to fight people like Tuivasa, not fucking this guy.
Oh, actually, no. He should fight DeLima.
He did.
He did fight DeLima?
Fight DeLima.
No, the guy that just won.
Yeah. I like that. Hey, I don't hate that fight at all.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Especially after DeLima just did what he did in his last fight.
Or the loser of next week with Tai Tuivasa and Tai Burra.
Yeah, true. This guy's going to get a top 15. He's going to get a top 15 fight. Like,
has to.
You think
without
super
a doubt.
quick?
So,
yeah,
100%.
Age ain't on his side, so.
But yeah, the early prelims were awesome. And then when you get into besides Michael Pereira was great, awesome performance. He looks incredible.
Scary. Dana White wasn't a fan of his walkouts. You see that?
I did see Dana White does not
corny,
like
bro.
The dancing walkouts.
I mean, I get it.
Don't mind them.
I get it from a business perspective because he doesn't want to be like the other fucking organizations that allow that shit. So he's like trying to be all like professional. So like I get it from that side of things, but like, bro, it's
fun.
Like, okay, Pereira didn't even fucking. He walked out dancing, doing cool shit. Michael Venom Page took fucking 17 minutes to get into the goddamn octagon.
I was gonna bring that up.
That's
like
fucking annoying.
I was gonna bring that up. Like, I wonder if Dana has the same energy and kind of distaste for the walkout for Michael Venom Page's walkout as he did for Michael Pereira's walkout. Like, I wonder if he kind of.
I'd be more pissed with that Michael Venom Page's because he took fucking forever, dude.
Hey, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
I guess, but
God, he made a fucking good one. But so we go into the prelims. You had Kyler Phillips. He won a decision over Pedro Munoz, but he fucking dominated
like a boss, dude.
Yeah, he dominated him.
Really good. I think that was his best striking performance to date in any of his fights by far.
And then Gamrot and RDA, man, RDA for fucking 40 years old still looks incredible.
Wow. Bro, he almost dropped fucking Gamrot.
Yeah,
that second round, dude. He almost won that fight, bro.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from RDA. I don't care how old he is. He looked against a guy like Gamrot. He looked really good last night just to be 40 years old, dude.
Yeah, Gamrot, I just man, what a fucking really unexciting fighter. Like what?
Yeah.
Like nothing about that
shit.
Yeah, nothing about that fight last night was like, man, I can't wait to see fucking Matisse Gamrot fight again.
And then he challenges Islam, dude. Like,
yeah, because they're wrestlers. And
he's like, oh, my wrestling's better than your wrestling. We can touch each other's dicks.
Yeah,
poke.
We can smell each other's buttholes for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Nobody wants
5 rounds for 5 minutes.
And him wrestle.
Fuck no. I want to see him get head kicked to sleep.
Yeah, that was a little. That if I had to say any fight on UFC 299 was a fucking snoozer, it was Gamrot RDA.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only one. I mean, Caitlin Chookagian, Macy Barber was next. Macy Barber won the decision. I think she did win. But not like, I know we talked about this, Dirty. You and I talked about this earlier today. Like, I mean, not a, Caitlin's a really high ranked woman in the flyweight division, but like I was kind of hoping for a more dominant victory for Macy Barber.
Oh, absolutely. I just can't stop thinking about what fucking Nick said last night when she was fighting.
What oh God. Let's not repeat that.
No, that shit was funny though. But hey, I got a question about this fight, just out of curiosity. What you guys think? Do you guys feel like it for like the commentators and shit? Like, do you feel like they had to try so hard not to call her Caitlin Chookagian last night, or by her like Charcusian? Do you think like they were fucking like they tried so hard not to call her that because she that was her name forever, dude? Like this is new. Sermonaro is new,
right?
Okay,
so
I don't know. It seemed it's probably Sermonaro.
Like, I would fuck it up, dude. There's no way I'm gonna remember a new name.
I think they had Sermonaro on probably all of their paperwork and stuff
like,
in front
of them.
Don't
fuck this up.
Yeah. I don't think they messed that up at all.
I feel like Joe Rogan would, though, for some reason. Actually, he would be the guy intentionally fuck it up.
And he'd be like, what?
Remember what he said last night during the fight, though? He was like, Macy Barber never has an ugly fight. Like, and he was like, she doesn't even look ugly in the, or what did he say? Murky?
Yeah, something like that. She likes to make the fight ugly.
Yeah.
And then it was like, but she
doesn't like, look ugly.
She's not ugly though.
But her ass is fat.
Yeah. Imagine if that's what he said. That would have been incredible.
She had a wagon.
I mean, Caitlin Chikugian or Sermonara is kind of old.
Charcuterie board.
She's on the older side. She hasn't fought in a while. I mean, I'm surprised John Anik didn't drop this little fucking anecdote last night, but she's coming off 2 miscarriages last year.
That would be a John Anik fuck up.
It definitely would, yeah. And I was kind of surprised he didn't drop that, but like 2. So like, I don't know. I expected Macy Barber to come out a little bit more dominantly, but she did get the win against a really high-ranked woman in that division. But we're gonna have to see. And matchups make fights, right? And Sermonara is a tough matchup for anybody that's kind of built like Macy Barber is. Macy Barber's, stocky, short. She needs to get in the inside. Caitlin Sermonara is just, was trying to put on like a kickboxing clinic.
She's tried to Holly Holmes her.
Yeah. And then Dirty, we had your good call last night. We had Curtis
call
Blades
of the night right there. Curtis
knocked out Geltown Almeida. Almeida should be cut from the roster. I tweeted that last
Send
night.
his ass to the PFL.
Yeah, he's a bum. He's a fucking bum.
Fucking bum.
Guy went 4 minutes and 38 seconds of control time in the first round and threw 5 punches.
Dude. Oh, he's bad for the UFC, homie.
He's so bad for the UFC. I'm actually, I know I was expecting him to win last night. I'm glad he got knocked out. Hindsight, after watching how he's coming off that decision win over Derek Lewis, where he didn't do anything but lay on top of him. And then you come out, you go to do the exact same thing against Curtis Blades, and you get knocked the fuck out with hammer fists because you leave your head exposed on the inside. Curtis Blades stuffs the takedown and just smashes hammer fists into the side of your head until you give up. Yeah, I mean, an absolute snoozer.
And he got off probably 12 hammer fists.
Yeah, it was a ton. All really clean shots to the side of the head.
It's crazy though. I called that shit right. If it was a live bet, like if you could have live bet that last night, it would have probably been plus 700, plus 800 odds.
Yeah, that would have been a good bet. But Curtis Blades did what he had to do. 36 seconds into the second round, Gelton Almeida went for another fucking takedown. Shocking. Got stuffed, ate a bunch of hammer fists. Yeah, I mean, just fucking cut him. I mean, like, what's the point? What's the point in keeping him on the roster on heavyweight and having him fight, like,
or make him drop to fucking 205? Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, right. Make him cut weight and go to 205 maybe. But is there any person on the planet that's like, yeah, man, I can't wait for Gelton Almeida to fight this weekend? Is anybody ever going to say that?
I don't even know like a good matchup in the weight class. I'm looking at it right now. Like, would you have like Sergey Spivak? Can he grapple like that? I mean, I just feel like he would do that against anybody, and it would just suck dick to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be the worst thing that anybody's ever watched. No one wants to see that shit. Good on Curtis Blades.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! That was electric. That is what started the night, in my opinion, to kind of set the tone for the main event. But I do want to talk about something in the prelims too, because I think we all kind of learned something last night about MMA scoring. That the way they score takedowns, you can fucking holding on to them and just pick them up, drop them.
Well, that's always been that way.
I know, but like
different in wrestling. Yeah,
it's different because me and Nick were both saying the same thing. It's like when they came on the board and was like he had like 10 takedowns. We're like, how the fuck does this guy have 10 takedowns? He hasn't let go of him.
He's got one.
Right.
He has 1 takedown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain that. So explain that for people that may not know wrestling rules, just for the sake of the podcast. Explain what the rule in wrestling is to score a takedown.
Well, it's a little different too in wrestling, because in wrestling, in like Greco-Roman traditional wrestling, you can't lock hands.
Right.
in freestyle you can, because you can do rolls and things like that. But in regular Greco-Roman, you know, you when you tie him up, you have to have an arm to get a takedown or a slam or whatever. So, you know, he was holding him, but he got the takedown one. And when he stood back up again, he was doing like trips to get him back down again, or like pulling him down. But he was still holding him. He never let go. So it's still one fluent takedown consecutive across that whole thing until he breaks free and you enter back in and get another takedown again.
Just standing up neutral.
Yeah.
It's like, once you break apart, you're both neutral. Then you go back in. But
because there was no escape. Like in wrestling,
never an escape. It was always
in wrestling. There, if you got up and your partner or your opponent still has control of you until the opponent's hands break and you separate, you don't get an escape point. So he had never really truly escaped the grip. So in our world, it would have still been no takedown counted.
So he had one takedown last night, is what you're saying.
It damn sure I thought that until they fucking showed him having 12 in a matter of like 2 minutes. He had 12 takedowns, and I was like, what the fuck?
Breaking fucking records, yeah.
But no, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was kind of
a good point.
I thought that was kind of something interesting for if you're a wrestler into MMA.
Yeah. So now, so that was your headliner of the prelims, which leads us into the main card.
Ain't nothing.
Which UFC 299 main card. I mean, absolutely amazing. Even so, your first fight, you had Peter Yan against Song Yadong. Peter Yan wins a decision. He looked like old Peter Yan.
He did. And he started cooking too in the late rounds. Like that first round, he started kind of like you could think, oh, Song Yadong may pull this one out. But that middle of the second round into the third round, dude, Peter Yan just put the gas pedal on, bro. And just once he connected.
How did Bruce Buffer say his name? Pewter? What did he say?
Peter.
No, Petter. Petter Yan.
I was like,
we both were like, what the fuck? Petter.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a great fight, man.
But he's back, bro. He's back in the mix all over again. Maybe that's what he needed for like his mental. I mean, like maybe this is really good for him. It could be really good because now he's kind of back in the mix again. He was on 2 losses, you know, and maybe he's had a bad kind of like mental. He was in not a good mental state, and now he's back. You know, that's a big win.
It's a huge win.
Really big win for him too, especially like we saw the up and comers fall last night, essentially in a couple fights, and this one, this one kind of not the next one, obviously, but yeah, yeah. I mean, for him, Peter Yan. I mean, now he's right back in there again. You can easily match him up against really any of these guys. I mean. And you're expected to see a good fight, I'd say.
How old is Peter Yan now? What's Peter Yan?
Probably his mid or early 30s. He's not that old.
Okay, so he's still got. You think he has another title run left in him?
Yeah, he's 31.
He's only 31.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old. Yeah,
oh my god, yeah, man. I mean, he's right there.
Yep.
That's
Megan.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna, we'll have to see how this all shakes out. We'll talk about it once we get to the top of this card, obviously, with the bantamweight title fight.
Maybe the winner of Cody Garbrandt and Figgy.
Yeah, that could be good. That could be really good. Give one of them Peter Yan. Garbrandt's looking to make another run himself.
Damn, I would fuck with that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Good fight.
Figgy's a former champion.
Yep,
moving up a weight class. If
Jan's
he gets the win over Cody.
Peter Yan is a former champion.
Yeah, that could be a great fight. So then we had your first kind of highlight knockout of the night. You had Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena, JDM knockout round 3. Gilbert Burns, I mean, and he fucked him up.
Yeah.
He left no doubt.
I mean, he was losing the fight.
Yeah, it was
in that third round.
Yeah, it was close, but he just found a way, man.
Scorecards said he was losing. I saw the scorecards this morning, and the 2 judges had Gilbert Burns 10-9 in rounds 1 and 2, and 1 judge had Medellin round 2 10-9. So he was up on the scorecards.
Okay.
Going into the third, so he just needed to either not get 10-8 or fucking barely edge it out.
And he ate a knee. He ate a knee, which is really what what started the finish for JDM. And
oh, bro, when he ate that knee,
that was such
it.
a well-timed knee too.
That was fucking a wrap.
It was
for
beautiful,
Burns, bro.
Last
beautiful.
night was full of knees, man.
It sure the fuck was.
Yeah,
bro. That
absolutely.
knee we'll talk about later was sounded like a fucking
insane
crack of a bat.
So then let's talk about JDM's call out in the post-fight interview real quick. So in his Octagon interview with Joe Rogan after the fight, he called out Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Yeah,
that's gangster, bro.
Has anybody in the welterweight division ever called out Shavkat Rakhmonov? I can't imagine. Awesome. Yeah, I have so much respect for Jack Della Maddalena after that call out alone. Like, that's such a savage. Like, Jesus Christ,
you
bro.
said it so well last night too. You were like, Ian Gary wants to call out fucking a bum essentially now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he wants Maddalena calls out fucking the number one contender, and he's like, "Give me Shavkat Rakhmonov."
So there's differences, right? And I think, like, I would love to see JDM Ian Gary fight, but I think
give his ass Bilal. Let him knock Bilal's ass out.
I think there's differences, right? And you have like Ian Gary, who's like undefeated, but he's trying to protect his record. He wants, good fights, but more easy fights. Jack Della Maddalena is just a fucking gangster and calls out the most dangerous man in the division that everybody's scared of. I think that alone speaks volumes to who Jack Della is and who Ian Gary is. Like, Ian Gary calls out fucking Colby Covington, who's coming off an embarrassing loss to Leon Edwards, where he barely showed up for the fight. Ian's like, yeah, let me call him out, and JDM says, yeah, let me fight the fucking undefeated guy with 100% finish rate. I want to fight him. It's like, there's just differences. There's just big differences in their personalities, obviously. And I mean, they're both young and still rising stars. Like, there is definitely a world where, they clash and cross paths in the Octagon at some point, which is going to be exciting.
Oh yeah.
And then, so now you get into your welterweight fight, Kevin Holland versus the UFC debut of Michael Venom Page. I mean, I said everything I needed to say last night about Michael Page. You said I was going to suck his dick the whole time. I'm not going to do that just because you said it.
Well, all right, I'll blow him.
It's all good. Yeah. You did it in the TikTok this morning. You got it out this morning when you made that TikTok, and you spent 25 seconds talking about him and 10 seconds.
I didn't.
No,
I didn't. That's not true.
You know what's a crazy stat, dude? Kevin Holland had more strikes than Michael Page. You never would have guessed that, but he did. Not more significant, but more strikes total.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah. It didn't seem like. And yeah, that's weird.
Bro, that spinning elbow.
That was
two
disgusting.
So fucking nasty.
I'm ready for him, man. I'm ready to see what. I mean, you owe it to him. He's a big name, dude. He's 36 years old. You got to give this guy some fights. Like,
he's gonna have he's gonna have a tough time though in the top 5. Like
so everybody's calling for him to fight Wonder Boy, which I think is an exciting matchup. But I mean, Wonder Boy, I think, is pretty much retired. He's 40 years old. I mean, he's just living his life teaching kids karate and shit. Like, I don't even know if, and they're friends actually, because I have seen on YouTube other channels, they're friends. They have been, done some YouTube content and stuff like that together. So I don't even know if that's a fight that would happen in the UFC.
I mean, give him Colby.
Yeah,
MVP versus Colby.
Yeah. Yeah, MVP knocks Colby the fuck out.
The fuck out.
I don't know how he didn't.
Or Ian Gary.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't knock out Kevin Holland with that spinning back elbow.
I don't know either, bro.
That was just
nuts.
But yeah, I mean, MVP is a super exciting fighter to watch. I mean, it's just, there's no doubt about it. He had a sick ass walkout, right? Came out to the Undertaker with a fucking hood on.
Yeah, dude, that was
kind of Izzy vibe. And he looked fucking incredible. He didn't get the finish, but Kevin Holland's tough as nails, tough as they come.
Yeah.
And but I mean, he put on a pretty decisive clinic for 3 rounds. I mean, he was piecing them up. He was in the he was in the flow state, baby. He was flowing.
He was flowing.
Them strikes were coming.
You were flowing
man.
too.
It was awesome to watch. I'm just happy to see. Like I said to you guys and the people watching the fights with us last night that were kind of unfamiliar. Like he should have been in the UFC. This is a long overdue debut, and I think you just wonder, like, how does those skills translate to the UFC? Like, is he going to be able to actually compete? UFC debut, he beats a top 15 ranked fighter, Kevin Holland. I mean, he definitely belongs here, no doubt. I don't know if he actually, ever at 36 years old gets to a point where he challenges for a title or anything like that. But I mean, it's going to be fun to watch while he's here. I wish he was here 5 years ago, but it's going to be fun to watch while he's here.
Yeah, man. You never know what can happen. We could see a run.
Yeah. I don't know. That division is fucking.
It's dangerous.
It's
scary as fuck. Yeah.
That is a scary ass division to even want to try to break into right now.
Yeah.
You got fucking Ian Gary and Jack Della who are cracking into the top 10. And you got fucking in the top 5 is what you got Leon, you got Shavkat, you got Bilal, you got fucking Gilbert Burns is in there. Well, yeah, but
we'll see a little shift there.
Hamzat, or is Hamzat at 185 fully now?
Yeah, he's up a weight class now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
that weight class is scary, bro.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. I mean, it was exciting to watch. He's an exciting fighter. He's a fucking human highlight reel. That's a guy, truthfully, that you're never gonna have to worry about his fight being boring. Like, there's no way that there's ever gonna be like a boring fight unless he fights some dominant grappler with a style like Milton Almeida that's able to just wrestle and hold him down.
Yeah.
His stance, I mean, it's really crazy. And it's like, so Kevin Holland was a great first fight to kind of see his style. Yeah. But I think that, that style will only work for so long too, until you start fighting someone who's like super fucking technical, and like a Leon Edwards who's just so fucking technical with his strikes. Like, that funky, crazy, wild shit is only going to work for so long. So
yeah, I think I don't know about that.
And if he couldn't knock out Kevin Holland, I mean,
Kevin Holland's pretty tough, but I think that's the way he fights is hard for anybody. Like, there's no consistency to anything he does.
Yeah, so, true. But you got to let him get in there to do that to you, though. If you don't engage in his shenanigans, it's like you can maneuver around that kind of stuff.
How?
I mean, not much people have just figured it out yet, man. I mean,
yeah. I mean, what do you mean by not getting in there with him? Like not engaging with him? You have to engage with him.
But you do. But if you do it in a technical fashion, like Kevin Holland wasn't technically fighting him. He was going in there and they were fucking there's points where they were trying to bang and do fucking close combat with this guy fucking floating like damn Muhammad Ali out there, just doing spinning elbows and shit. Like, any smart fighter is going to either try to grapple him or fucking play a distance fight with him, which
I don't think playing the distance fight is the way. Like, I think that's how you lose that fight for sure. He's going to fucking beat you up. But I think a dominant grappler, somebody that's able to.
I'd like to see him go against someone who can grapple and strike.
Yeah, if you can close the distance on him and dominate him grappling, but like, that's been the blueprint to beating him his entire career. And like, even Kevin Holland tried. Kevin Holland is a fucking good grappler, bro. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, a legitimate black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I think he beat Jack Della their last fight, Holland versus Jack Della.
Yeah.
Everyone's
that one was super close.
I think Kevin Holland won that one, and now we're thinking Holland's up here. Where's MVP? Because MVP would have beaten maybe both of them.
Yeah, I do think he's better than you're giving him credit for. And I think that style is a lot more difficult for people to deal with than you think it is. I think it's a whole different thing you watch on tape, and then you get in there with somebody that is so inconsistent, so unpredictable. Like, how do you set traps for him?
That's it. I would not want to be farther away from him. I want to be as close as possible and
you got
smother him.
Yeah, you'd have to wrestle him. You got to close the distance. You got to try to out grapple him, and then maybe submit him. I mean, that's how he's lost fights in the past. So
I'm just more or less looking at it from like a top 5 perspective. Like, him going in, anybody in the top 5 is capable of fighting Michael Venom Page's fighting style.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Jack Della beat Gilbert Burns, who's top 4. Number 4. I mean, there's room, bro. There's room. If Jack Della's getting there, there's room for him as well.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
have
Colby's
to see.
still there.
Right.
I mean,
we're gonna have to see how it all shakes out. Like I said, he's 36. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
serious.
Age is not against him. At this,
Yeah, I don't think there's any serious title like run. I don't see that actually happening, especially with all the other killers in that division. I don't see that happening for MVP. But I mean, like I said, I think it's gonna be fun while it lasts. While he's here, the matchups that he's, fights that he is going to have in the UFC in the future, I think they're all going to be fucking fun to watch and exciting. And like you come in your debut against the top 15 guy,
what was Holland?
It only
13?
gets,
14?
It only gets 13. It only gets harder from here. It only gets more exciting from here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited, man. And then, all right, let's get on to your lightweight co-main event. It was scheduled for 5 rounds.
God,
Dustin Poirier did not need 5 rounds.
Fuck no, he didn't.
He got to knock down every round, bro.
Yeah.
Even when he was losing in the first, he still fucking said, "Hold on, dude, I'm Dustin Poirier. Let me just bow your ass real quick," because he knew his style coming into. He knows this guy loves to. When Benoit Saint Denis sees a weakness, his kill instinct is fucking boom. He goes for it, and he was expecting that, dude. Dustin Poirier is great. The guillotine thing, I agree with his coaches. That takes so much effort to do that, man.
He was winning the striking battle. Like he didn't need to. He was winning on the feet. It was almost hindering him, pulling these fucking guillotines, man. But what a beast.
He did say in the post conference, he's like, "You only miss the ones you don't attempt."
Yeah.
But he looked good, man. I love the way he strikes. Dustin Poirier has amazing hands, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I know another funny thing too. Last night, if you heard DC, it was I think it was DC that said it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Dustin Poirier he's so good with his guillotines. It's like that's one of his best qualities." And John Anik was like, "He's actually never won a fight by guillotine before."
John Anik with the fucking check real quick.
Wow. John Anik's got Google pulled up at all times.
Yeah, I do like DC a lot more now than I used to, and I do appreciate him as a commentator, but that motherfucker commentating talks out the side of his neck all the time.
I think he'd be drinking Charles Barkley and Shaq are a little bit faded during the half times. So he's like, "Man, I tell you what, I love Miami.
Yeah.
You can always bring me back here." And then Joe Rogan's looking at him like, really?
I love the post weigh-in, like the pre and post weigh-in show with him and Laura Sanko and random guests. They get drunk. They'll drink on the show and shit, and then they'll start talking shit. Just like the other day when Laura Sanko asked DC if she looked good, DC was like, "Nah, I don't think you look good."
Yeah,
He's such a fucking liar.
No way.
But yeah, man. So Dustin Poirier knocks out BSD. Dustin Poirier not done yet at all.
Not done yet. And honestly, maybe fighting for a title next.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a 70, I would say 70%, maybe 65% chance he could fight for the title next.
Yeah, it could be higher than that. I mean, Islam's manager Ali, said to him at the weigh-ins, "If you win, you're fighting for a title in June." Obviously, he doesn't control that. That dude, is super involved with a lot of these fighters, but he doesn't ultimately control that or make that say. But the fact that that's even a thing, because really Gaethje should get the title shot.
Absolutely, but now a better fight, anyways, man.
But Gaethje's fighting.
Fighting fucking Max because they agreed to this,
and that's in April. And if he's trying to fight, we talked about this last night, right? He's fighting Max in April at UFC 300. If Islam's trying to fight in June, that's only a 2-month turnaround. And just what I imagine that Gaethje Max Holloway fight is going to be, I don't know if ain't no way
it's going to be exactly what we just saw with BSD and Poirier. It's just going to be a fucking scrap.
Yeah, right. And I don't see Gaethje making a 2-month turnaround after a fight like that. That's not the turnaround you want
unless he knocks out Max in the first round.
Yeah, right.
which is
He
unlikely.
gets out of there unscathed. But then, so it kind of opens the door for Poirier to get a title shot against Islam. And they were talking about Poirier like he was going to lose this fight and then fucking retire.
Yeah.
And I think he just reminded everybody who the fuck he is and why he's been at the top of this division for as long as he has. I mean, he's a fucking stud, man.
He's a stud. Hard not to like that man.
It's impossible. Yeah. It's absolutely impossible. Just a beast.
Hey, how about them UFC 100 boys, son?
Yeah.
How about them UFC 100 boys, son?
Yep. So Poirier got the win. BSD did I don't know if you guys saw that, but BSD did post on Instagram.
Oh yeah, about his staph infection shit.
So I mean,
saw that.
Not making an excuse were his words. Like, he lost, obviously, it is what it is, but I think that's a fair it's a fair point to make. I think it does suck for him because it makes him look like a fucking fraud. Like, you look like an absolute killer. You were the favorite going into this. And then you came out super flat. But for anybody that doesn't know, Benoit Saint Denis had a staph infection, was on antibiotics for 7 days leading up to this fight. Which he made it seem like it just absolutely drained his cardio. Like, he basically had one round.
I've had it twice, man. It that shit drains you. You're not allowed to do anything. I'm surprised he was cleared to fight, to be honest. That blows my mind. Yeah. But it's been a week, I guess, since it was treated. But that treatment just fucking, dude, all your cardio is kind of fucked after that, man. It's medicine. It's not good.
So he wasn't sparring. Seemed like his training was minimal, if any at all. So I mean, that's a big storyline in this, but it's not going to get talked about. I mean, he just got fraud checked. Like, you tried to make this crazy jump to a guy that he called out. BSD made the call out on Dustin Poirier. He called him out. He got the fight. It's the matchup he wanted, a top 5 fight, and you just got knocked out in the second round fairly convincingly.
Is Dustin Poirier the greatest fighter to never win a UFC title?
He's in that conversation. Yeah, I mean, aside from his interim title, if you don't count, you're not going to count his interim title, then
undisputed.
Yeah, I mean, he's in that. He's for sure in that conversation and probably at the top of that list. Yeah,
I saw they had Dan Henderson at the top of that list, and I was like, I mean, shit, he kind of reminds me of Dustin Poirier, except not as good of a wrestler, but knockout power, it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, man. But that was really good to see Poirier get the win last night, stay at the top. Where it seems like he's going to end up getting a title shot in June, possibly. I'm fucking here for that. Hopefully, it's not in Abu Dhabi or something gay. Hopefully, it's in fucking International Fight Week in Vegas.
Atlanta,
more neutral territory. Atlanta, I like it,
bro. They ain't coming back to Atlanta, bro. I'm already fucking convinced.
Every time you say that, it happens.
All right, good. Maybe they'll come to Atlanta. All
right, let's talk about your main event.
Hey,
main event UFC
for the fucking show, just so you know.
I love that.
Represent the shorts.
Main event UFC 299. We had Suga Sean O'Malley against Marlon Chito Vera 2. Obviously, if you don't know by now, Sean O'Malley wins a convincing decision. He beat the brakes off that boy for 5 rounds. Let me read you, before we get into the discussion, let me read you the striking numbers. All right. Total strikes, Sean O'Malley 232, Chito Vera 89.
Jesus.
Significance out of those total strikes, significant strikes, Sean O'Malley was 230. Of those 232, 230 of them were significant. He landed at a 64% accuracy with his significant strikes.
That's wild.
To Chito Vera's 36. So Chito Vera landed 89 shots through 241. No takedowns, no submissions. They stand and fought for 5 rounds. Chito just got fucking pieced up.
Bro.
Ate one of the hardest knees that I've ever
He's got to be tested, bro. That guy has a fucking steel head.
Yeah.
There's no way, bro. He's never been knocked down in his UFC career.
That makes no sense. It's nuts. It's nuts.
So this is why, I mean, like, I didn't expect him to be able to take a knee like that. I mean, the sound from that knee.
Oh, dude,
was
we all
unlike
were like, "Holy shit!" Did you hear that?
That
Like,
was
it was apparently loud.
that was a clap. I've never heard anything like that before in my life. But I mean, he's 23-9-1 now. He has, so that's 33, right? 33 professional MMA fights and has never been knocked down. That's I know it's like beating a dead horse, bro. I keep saying it, but it's like that's such a crazy statistic. He's never been finished. We know people that have never been finished, never been knocked out, whatever. To never even be knocked down.
That's nuts to me. It doesn't even sound real when I first heard it last night. I was like, what?
So I mean, which is really what stemmed my prediction of this fight, which was O'Malley by decision. And then after watching that, like, is there anybody on the planet that can knock out Chito Vera?
I don't think so. After that shit, after that knee to the fucking skull, or the chin, I was impressed.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane, man. But O'Malley did his thing. I mean, he came out and absolutely cemented.
And I'll admit it, it's safe to say he's probably one of the best top 2 strikers in the UFC. I mean, his striking was just fucking so fluent last night. You finally got a chance to really see him show who he really is. I mean, he really finally got the chance to give him 25 minutes of just pure fucking striking, like a striking clinic.
Do you think after that fight last night, going 25 minutes and throwing the amount of strikes that he did and beating Chito the way that he did, do you think that O'Malley's cardio should be in question anymore?
I only say no. I mean, he went 25 minutes. He's the champ. He's 25. He did his thing. I don't think his cardio's bad. Now, how will it play out if when he fights Merab?
Yeah.
Like, then that's anybody's gonna struggle with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just know that's always like a talking point, kind of a question. Maybe not necessarily against Sean O'Malley, but it's something that people always bring up, like he doesn't have good cardio.
I mean, I'm convinced there's nobody in that bantamweight division that's going to outstrike him.
Yeah, no.
I used to say Corey Sandhagen was going to be a great fight for him. Now that I watched Sean, what he did last night, he's going to fucking piece anybody up in that whole division.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. There's nobody that's going to outstrike him.
Yeah, grappling's going to have to be the way
that's going to be where he's going to lose. Yep.
But again, it's like you'd have to think that he knows that, right? And especially this fight with Merab. Like that Merab's going to be right. So how prepared is he going to be for that? I mean, he was with Aljo, same thing. I mean, the first round against Aljo, they scored it for Aljo, but it was a close first round, not a whole lot of action. But Aljo tried taking him down there. He defended takedowns against Aljo really well in the first round of that fight. You got to think that he knows, not everybody is going to just stand up with him and let him piece him up from distance like that.
I'm convinced Aljo lost that fight because he did that gay green hair shit and tried to be all fucking weird.
Cody Garbrandt's going to knock out Sean O'Malley on his comeback.
Oh shit. That would be game breaking. That would be awesome.
Prime versus prime.
I mean, you got to do Merab next, right? I mean,
yeah, I think that's the fight. Obviously, Sean O'Malley called out, made a call out to Ilya. But he also said though, right? Like, that's what I want. That's what I think fans want to see, which I would. I also think Poirier needs to defend his belt before taking a fight like that. And I think to skip over Merab would be just fucking egregious.
Now, I will say this: if O'Malley beats Merab, then I think he's good enough to go and fight up a weight class because there's really nobody else in the division that's ready and prepared for O'Malley.
I'd rather see O'Malley versus fucking Holloway. I mean, that just sounds like a fucking striking match. Of course, it's not going to happen unless it's some DFC shit. But
yeah, I agree. I like O'Malley Merab next. I think that's the obvious. And then as far as Poirier, he needs to defend his belt, right? Like, he needs to defend the featherweight belt at some point. Sounds like Spain, but
just curious, what how do you see that fight going? Because after watching what Sean O'Malley did last night, it's going to be hard to fucking get inside of him and outstrike him.
Yeah.
That dude,
Yeah.
he's too fucking good from a distance.
Ilya would fuck him up.
You think so?
Yeah, he would get inside. And
Dude,
get
I think it's gonna be. I think it's a tougher fight than you think it is, bro.
I don't think it's an easy fight. And I think Sean's distance management is one of the best in the UFC. I mean, not even just in the bantamweight division. I think the way that he manages distance is like some of the best in professional fighting. And because it's not as easy, right? Like, I mean, yeah, he's 18-1, and you can say, oh, the game plan to beat him is to grapple and get in close. Well, okay, everybody's known that now. Why hasn't it fucking happened?
Yeah, you saw Cheeto eat a fucking knee to the
I mean, right,
face
like
last night.
Yeah, so I think, but I do also think that the way to Poirier is patient and the way that he closes the distance is some of the best in the UFC also. Because it doesn't happen all at once. It's not a rush in and just start throwing crazy punches and getting in wild exchanges. It's methodical, right? Like he closes distance little bits at a time until you don't even necessarily realize how close he is and you're within his range. And then obviously Poirier's power is just fucking disgusting. He catches anybody with that right hook. I think it's game over. But I think O'Malley's the same way. Like I think O'Malley catches him with a head kick or catches him with his right hand. It's same thing. That's what, like, I don't hate that fight. I think that fight would be fucking exciting as shit.
Yeah.
I just think you can't pass up Merab. You can't, have Poirier fight Sean O'Malley before he defends his belt.
I mean, if I'm Dana and I want to if I want to milk Sean O'Malley for everything, if I'm Dana, I set the Poirier fight up like ASAP because you don't want him to lose to Merab and then
right,
then he just looks like a fucking one defense, like he's only defended the title once. He's fucking, he ain't gonna be the superstar they want him to be.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, but it sounds like Dana wants him to. He doesn't like the change in weight divisions thing, and he wants him to fight Merab. So I do think that is what we're going to see next, which I mean, I'm fucking here for it. I love it.
Yes, sir.
But that's the main event, man. UFC 299, just it lived up to all the hype, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Any final thoughts before we kind of close it out?
Crazy to think we had that. And now we have 300 coming up in fucking 3 fight nights, baby.
Yeah, so we have 3 fight nights. Not, all kind of whatever. No, nothing that really blows.
You got 2 women main events.
Headliners. Yep. Not, not anything that really blows the doors off, but obviously next weekend you have Tuivasa and Tybura. That'll probably, hopefully they bang a little bit. Hopefully somebody gets knocked out. We don't have a kind of disappointing heavyweight main event. Brian Battle is on the co-main of that fight. He's super exciting, so I think that's somebody to look out for. And Ribas Namajunas, I don't. This card looks really weak to me. Then you get Blanchfield Fjord. That's okay. I mean, they're the 2 and 3 ranked women in
4 fight nights in between.
Yeah, you have Vettori and Brendan Allen as well. Yep.
See, you gotta have these though. Like all of these fucking cards are where you get everybody out of the top 5 can fight each other and fucking.
Yeah, I mean these are title eliminators. Like all of these are title eliminators. Like, Vettori Brendan Allen has big implications at middleweight, right? Like if Brendan Allen comes in and dominates Marvin Vettori, I mean, he's right up in that conversation to start fighting for, number 1 contender fight or a title fight. Same with Aaron Blanchfield, Manon Fiort. I mean, winner of this probably fights for a title next.
Yep.
It
definitely does.
So, I mean, yeah, you have to have these fight nights. You have to get more of these fights. And as long as the pay-per-views look and have the quality that UFC 299 does, then I wouldn't worry about, quantity over quality. We're obviously getting the quantity. We have UFC events almost every Saturday, and the quality, if we learned anything from last night, doesn't dip at all. So
Facts.
Absolutely incredible. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's wrap this and we'll
one thing before we close, late addition to UFC 300 announced last night. Jalen Turner versus Ricardo
Moicano.
Moicano.
Yep. Yeah, that's an awesome fight. I love that Jalen Turner's on 300, man.
I did too. Two of my favorite fighters on UFC 300, Bo Nickel and Jalen Turner, baby.
Moicano is fucking entertaining as hell. So that'll be a good
I feel like this is the second time that's happened, because I was just looking at a stat. It's been over a year now since John Jones's fought. It's an FYI. So, but on that card that John Jones did win, I'm pretty sure Bo Nickel and Jalen Turner were both on that card as well.
Awesome.
If I'm not mistaken. So
and they did actually. I don't know if this is legit. I've seen it today, and I know it was on the graphic last night, but people are saying that they gave Bo Nickel the bump onto the main card.
To the main card. Yep.
I saw that. They fucked those graphics up so much, though. So
dude, they fucked everything up last night, bro. I had it in my notes. They were showing UFC 298 the whole fucking night.
Bullshit.
So dumb.
Yeah, all the
fuck was that?
Yeah, all the Volk fans were not liking that one.
Nah, hell no, I didn't like that shit. I think that was it though. I had in my notes that MVP looked like a car lot blow up animal. Those fucking blow up animals that fucking just fucking move with the wind.
Wow,
wacky waving inflatable arm inflating tool man or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, he does.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
Awesome card, awesome fight night. Saturday, man, it doesn't get any better than what we had last night, man. And in less than a month, we get to do it again. UFC 300.
Less? Is it only less than a month? We got 4 fight nights ahead of us.
I guess exactly a month, right? Yeah, April 13th. Oh, dude. So I'm going to CFFC 131 April 12th, that Friday night in Atlantic City. Coming back Saturday. I'm coming back Saturday morning.
UFC 300.
And then UFC 300's that night.
Let's fucking go.
What a weekend. Didn't even plan that. But what
that's
going to
be
weekend.
Sick, Merc.
But yeah, we'll get after it. I'll catch y'all boys on the next one.
Yes, sir. Good fucking chat. We got preview coming up, I guess, later on in the week.
Yep. And we just recorded another fighter interview, and that'll be dropping at some point here. And we
got another fighter interview Tuesday. Stay tuned.
Another fighter interview Tuesday. Another fighter interview at the end of this month. Our first UFC fighter that we're interviewing at the end of this month. So that's going to be huge. Be on the lookout for that. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. Tell Dirty's fat and smelly. And keep it hot, baby.
Got big old juicy tits.
All right,
peace, boys.
Peace, boys.